First, a reminder that you can check out my entire catalogue of metroidvania maps at www.demajen.co.uk, where you can find an alphabetised list of every game I've mapped over the last few years. I never made a video about my Ender Lilies map. And I didn't do it because I released it at a time when I was releasing maps on Steam. It was one of the guides that ensured that I don't release maps on Steam anymore. The number of websites that took this particular map, well, actually it wasn't this one, it was a slightly older one. They took the version of the map that was up on the Steam guides. Anyway, they uploaded it on their own websites. They covered it in adverts. They made a load of money off it because Ender Lilies, when it was released, was an incredibly popular, if divisive, game. A game, actually, that I really enjoyed. But the map itself is... it's not great. I'm not a big fan of this particular map or this map style. But I did what I could with it. You know, I went through and I put on all of the trinkets that you can collect, the spirits that you can find, the different ways of getting through things, all of the notes that you can find, the priestess wishes, the different area names, you know, all the kind of stuff that you would expect from a map from me, although this one is kind of showing its age. I'm not entirely sure where the drop shadow's gone from the cliffside hamlet, but either way, this particular map is out of date. Now, because I did not like this map very much, I did an experiment. I wanted to see whether actually, if I used various camera tools, because the game's made in Unreal Engine, there's loads of camera tools available for it. If I stitched together the different rooms, would it actually create a world? And the answer to that was no. Creating a world from the different rooms actually doesn't work. They don't fit together very well at all. So I did what I considered the next best thing. I could still create the rooms, I could still screenshot all of the rooms, but then I'd lay them out like the different areas on this map. And in order to show you this, I actually have to go to my Google Drive. So here we've got what I created for that. And again, these are old. These haven't been updated in quite some time. And you can see that for each room in the game, I went through, took screenshots. I think I actually managed to figure out a way. I did, yeah. I managed to figure out a way of actually turning Lily off so you couldn't see her in the screenshots. And I went through and I stitched together screenshots for each room and then laid them out in the same way that they are laid out in the original map. And for the longest time, that was enough. That was all I needed to do. But since I released these, I've had questions asked that I couldn't think of the answers to. I've had people commenting and critiquing, you know, oh, there's not actually enough information on these maps. You know, how do the area transitions work? What kind of skills and stuff do I need? And all of that information is on this original map. But of course, it's not on these maps particularly because these were really, really text light. The only text on these was where the different areas link up and the names of the various, what are they, respites? Is it respites in this game? The various bonfires, the various benches that you can sit on. So, not too long ago, I meant to do a video on this a little while back and just completely forgot. Not too long ago, I actually went back to these individual map files and I did something that I wasn't expecting to do, and quite frankly, I don't think I could have done back when I put these maps together. I took every single one of the original Photoshop files with all the different rooms and all of the different layers. Not these flat images, the original things. Turned them all into smart objects and imported them all into one gigantic Photoshop file. So if you see, this is the original in-game map, and this is actually the in-game map. This is how things fit together. This is based on screenshots from the actual in-game map. This is how things fit. And I put together this. This is three... Oh, you can't actually see this because of how I'll have trimmed the video out. But this is at 3% size of what this actually is. And I suspect zooming in is actually going to make my computer chug a bit, because this is the biggest file I've ever put together. It is in fact a file so big that I literally could not save it as a JPEG because it is too big. I didn't even know JPEGs had a limit in terms of not file size, but in terms of the actual dimensions. This file is over 90,000 pixels wide. Apparently JPEGs can only do up to about 66,500 pixels in any direction before they just don't work. It doesn't save as a JPEG anymore. But you can see what I've done. And in order to do this, I've actually had to move individual rooms around a bit so that they can fit together. From this to that. And you can see that there are some discrepancies. It doesn't fit together quite the same way, but it's all here. So, we've gone from, let's just recap. We've gone from this, which just has icons for everything and arrows, and we've gone to this. Since we've got the catacombs there, let's zoom into the chug. Let's zoom into the catacombs. This is now at 16.5%. And you can see what we have done, going from that to this to this. So I've been through, and all of the text from this version, let's bring the catacombs up here as well, all of the text from this version is now on this version. It was essentially a complete rework of everything, because I had to go through and I had to add everything in. I had to move some rooms around to even fit certain things in. But all of the bits and pieces that were on this version of the map, the actual information, the words, is now on this version of the map. And again, this is at 16.67%. Let's just zoom in to 100. That's 25%. This is 50%. This is 100%. This room sucks. So few people have noticed this message that I'm actually now pointing it out, because this room does suck. This is the actual scale that I produced these at. I don't think I've ever shown this at actual scale, because I could never upload it in any way at that size. But this is the Ender Lilies map at 100% scale, including all of the information from the 2 different versions of the map that I have put together. And you can see that essentially that there's more information here, I think, than you could ever possibly need, at a size that realistically is far too big for any practical use. But people have asked for well, can we have that information on these maps? You know, what does the world look like if it's all put together, and so on and so forth. So this is what the world looks like using the actual in-game assets. It's a massive, massive file. And as such, it is not available for free in the Google Drive. There's just no way I could turn this into a file that just doesn't clog that Google Drive up. This is a shop exclusive map. It's not expensive. It's a £3 or more, pay what you want, like all of my really big maps are. But if you wanted the absolute best view of what Ender Lilies is, this is the best that I can do. Frankly, there's nothing more I think that I could do to turn this into something that is even more, you know, usable than this file. It's everything else is just too much. So, warning: before you go anywhere near this purchase, be aware that the files are huge and almost certainly won't open on many computers. I've included two versions. I've included the full resolution PNG file for the absolute maximum quality. It is over 400 megabytes. And it is 90,716 pixels wide by 54,729 pixels tall. It is huge. It will not open on your phone. It might not open on your laptop. I can't guarantee that it will open on your PC, frankly. And if it doesn't, there is absolutely nothing I can do to tech support it. The JPEG version is half of that size. It's 50%. It's still 45,000 by 27,000 pixels. It's still 102 megabytes. So it's a big file, but it's within actual JPEG size limitations. You get both of those. The JPEG one should open on most computers. Somebody told me it did open on their laptop. I can't remember the laptop specs off the top of my head. Probably should have checked that before I started recording the video. But it did open on their laptop. The JPEG should open on your computer. But I wouldn't imagine it will open on the phone, and the PNG is just... It's ridiculous. I cannot imagine why anybody would want it. But it's been created, if nothing else. And if you want to, you know, make a giant A1 poster for your wall because you love Ender Lilies so much, that's the file to go for. Take that PNG and give it to a printer, and they'll be able to do some wonders with that. So, Ender Lilies. I really enjoyed Ender Lilies. It was such a good game. Great soundtrack. Really cool aesthetic. Really kind of somber tone. And I really enjoyed, although it took me a while to do this, I really enjoyed actually putting this map together. I had to solve so many problems that I had created for myself whilst putting this map together, because I'd never planned. I never planned on adding the text back to this. The whole point of the original kind of Google Drive maps was that it was nice and clean and minimalistic. So the fact that I can actually now do this because of the support of people on Ko-fi.com, you know, the money that a lot of people have donated or paid for shop items, that allowed me to upgrade my PC last year and allowed me to actually put this map together, because there's really no way. There's no way in hell that my previous PC could have opened these files with all of the different layers. There's about four 4 and a bit thousand layers eventually on this map if I unpacked all the smart objects. That, I mean, it took about 6 minutes to save the file each time. So yeah, it's too much. It's too much. But now that I've talked about it in a video, maybe, you know, people will want this, and it's there for you if you want it. If you don't, as I said, the free versions of the maps are not quite as, you know, pretty or up to date as the, well, all the information is 100% accurate, but it is these older style maps that are there in the Google Drive. There's that version, there's the screenshot version, which are quite old. There's also the speedrun template version, which has not got any of the icons. It's just got various boss locations marked and the various save points. Nothing else is marked on there. That was a request from people in the speedrunning community who wanted a nice template to work with, so I put that together. That's available for free in the Google Drive. If that's interesting for you, you know, it's there. But as I said, you know, there's a big warning here. I don't know if this is going to work for most people. I haven't. I can't help you. The most I could do is, you know, cut it down in size further, at which point it probably won't be readable. I don't make a lot of money off these maps, so I don't do refunds, essentially. I mean, technically speaking, yes, you can charge back PayPal, etc., etc. That would probably cost me more than you paid for it in the first place if you do that. I can't stop you from doing that if you buy it and then it doesn't work and you charge it back. But I like to think that you've had enough warnings so as to not actually cost me money for doing something. I'm a little bit wary, can you tell, about this? But it's there. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, for the support. If you do take this map and get it printed out as a poster, I would love to see this hanging on your wall or whatever. Send me a screenshot on Twitter or whatever. I don't know whether anybody's going to do it, but if they did, it'd be really cool to actually see. Stay safe, folks. Stay fabulous. Thank you for the support as always. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.